So I'm going to be as brief as I can. I'm going to try to make this very brief, but I want to tell you women, this is geared mainly towards women, to value yourself, love yourself, value yourself. And I realize that this world is unapologetic towards women. And what I mean that is there's so many standards that men put upon women, so many high standards where if a woman is a certain age, or a woman has been with a certain amount of men, or a woman has had children, or this and that, a man feels that she has no quality or no value to offer, or a man feels a woman has to be submissive, or if a woman works, she's too domineering, or she doesn't have the right personality. And there are all these little things where I realized how men have put women in a category. They categorize and stereotype women. And basically, they paint this picture where a woman is supposed to meet all of these things, all these qualifications, or they're not considered desirable, or they will find themselves not married. I am an unmarried woman. And when I was younger, yes, I had a past. I was promiscuous when I was very when I was in my teens. And I was promiscuous due to the fact that not only did my father introduce me to pornography, but I was looking for love. I did not feel that love from my father. And this is something that a lot of women go through. You have not felt the love of a father. Many women have not had a father in their lives. They did not know what a good man was. They did not have a good example or a role model of a man. And so they try to substitute that love or fill that void that was there lingering in them by going out and I guess attracting the attention of men. And in my case, when men came on to me, I saw that as solidifying the love and the worth that I needed. And so as a result, I didn't always want to have sex. The men wanted to have sex. And that's the thing. The men will pursue women for sex. But then once you give in and have sex with them because you want their attention, oh, they'll label you this, you're a whore. Or you'll have all these names. They'll look at you in a derogatory manner. And so women, it's okay for men to run around and sow their oats and sow their seeds. But when women do this, it's like, oh, you have a past. And I was a little bit upset at God because I'm like, Lord, you told me to sit at home. You told me to sit at home and prepare for a mate. And I had done this since 2009. The Lord had taught me how to be a submissive woman, or taught me how to have the characteristics and traits that will be desirable for a man who is seeking a mate. And I could not get married. And instead, I was alone, and I did not focus on my career because the Lord wanted me to sit at home and work on my ministry. And at the same point, I feel like that has gone to waste. Nothing has come of it. And I asked God, I said, Lord, well, why didn't I get my husband? And I look at all these videos now because videos have been popping up on my feed lately. And I see how men have talked about women. They have all these certain standards. A woman has to look a certain way. A woman wears weave. A woman wears makeup. It's mostly towards Black females. Or if a woman is a certain weight, that's another thing. It's like you have to be picture perfect for these men, and you cannot have a past. Yet when a man has a past, or if a man has slept around, or a man has been divorced multiple times, or a man has a felony even and has had a prison record, it's okay. If a woman sets standards that they don't want, that it's a problem. So women, I want to tell you right now, I want to tell you that, first of all, when you love yourself, when you live yourself where you're not fixated on a man, I'm not trying to tell you to stay away from men, but I'm telling you to value yourself, because I have been celibate for 10 years, over 10 years. I have been celibate for over 10 years. And I cannot get a husband because a lot of men do not want a woman who has children. Yes, I made mistakes in my past and I had children. I do not call my children mistakes because I love my children, and I raised my children pretty much by myself. I raised them alone. It's not something that I desired. Yes, I did want to get married, but a lot of men do not want to date women who have children. They'll have sex with her. They'll have fun with her, but they don't want to settle down with this woman and commit to her. That is the thing I've realized. And so what I want to tell you ladies, specifically younger women, I want to tell you to start loving yourself and valuing yourself to the point where you learn that your vagina is your power. The power's in your vagina, not to use your vagina to manipulate men to get money. No, that's completely different. That is something you're not supposed to do. What I mean by valuing your vagina and empowering your vagina is you earn your respect by not giving your body away. I don't care. You don't have to give up your vagina to anyone. That is where your true value lies. Learn how to exemplify some type of self-control. This is something that I've done. And like I said, I myself, I have mistakes. I have flaws. I'm a human being. And I've had moments where I have succumbed to my flesh. But each time I've done that, I was always left feeling with a sense of regrets because men have devalued me. And this is what men do. They will try to get you into bed with them. And the minute you give them something, they devalue you. There are women who you can reach all their checkpoints. You can exemplify the characteristics that they want. You could be the same type of weight and height requirements and meet those. You can be as submissive as you want. And sometimes men will still devalue you. It's the type of person that comes across your path. When you learn how to love yourself, when you learn how to value your vagina, meaning you're not going to use your vagina to manipulate men, but instead you're going to keep your vagina as something that is held in value, meaning not everyone is going to get a chance to have that vagina. And it has to be earned, not by a man taking you out on a date and spending a lot of money on you. No. The vagina is earned by a man completely submitting to you, putting a ring on your finger and marrying you and committing to you. Committing to you. And even sometimes in marriages, there are men who have devalued women and mistreat them and abuse them. Well, I want to let you know, you don't even have to have a marriage. A lot of women have found their value and their worth in whether or not a man wants them or desires them. When you desire yourself, meaning you love yourself and you love who you are, you find out who you are and what you're worth. And a lot of times that self-worth does come through God. It comes through having a meaningful relationship with him, but also learning who you are, learning the characteristics and the skills and all the traits, everything that you have, that you possess outside of your vagina. When you do this, you can start showing yourself how valuable you are. That value will not be found in whether or not you can get a man's attention, whether or not you can get a man to give you money and pay your bills, or whether or not a man can lust or desire after you. That is not where your self-worth should come from. It should not come from how attractive you are, even though, yes, we all want to feel like we're attractive. But once you know your self-worth, you'll be happy with God, with how God has created you. Meaning you don't have to meet these unrealistic standards that a lot of men have been portraying and projecting onto women. Yes, it's unfair, but they have their standards. And you don't have to lower your standards because a lot of men, they certainly are not lowering theirs. They certainly are not lowering theirs. And so I had, for a while, I was always felt like, is something wrong with me that a man would not commit to me? Is something wrong with me that men only want to come to me and have sex with me, or they won't settle down with me? Or when I did have a relationship with men, it was with men who I always had to take care of them and do something for them. It's like I always had to bring something to the table, but these men could come as they are. So I want to tell you women, get to a place where you learn to love yourself and you learn to value yourself, where you do not have to settle. You do not have to go outside of your own values and compromise your values to meet a man's expectations. It's not to a point where you want to bash men and say, hey, I don't need men. No. The society we're in right now, a lot of men are not chivalrous. We don't see a lot of chivalry. And yes, a lot of men have felt that women have devalued them to the point where women feel that they're independent, they don't need a man. But what women have tried to do is, it's a balance, whether we want to feel as if we're appreciated. And it's a lot of times it's hard to find that appreciation outside of the physical features and characteristics of a woman that she brings to the table, her femininity. And so those characteristics, that value, it has to come from learning who we are, learning our self-worth. So women, I just really honestly want to tell you, those of you who are very young, just I think it's a good thing when you stop having sex. I've done this myself. I've gone celibate, and yes, I'm currently celibate. Yes, I'm going to stay celibate, because when you give your piece of your body to a man, he no longer values you. He no longer respects you. That's just how it is. Your power is in your vagina, meaning you have the power. You have the power to keep yourself sacred. You don't have to have sex with anyone. You don't have to be married. You can sustain a happy, meaningful life outside of a relationship with a man. Yes, you can have friends. You can have meaningful business relationships. You can be in ministry. You can have all those things, but you don't have to be in an intimate, romantic relationship with a man. And a lot of women have found their worth off of these relationships with men, and it's always left you feeling hurt. A lot of times the women are feeling abused and mistreated. And then after taking so much abuse, when our personalities and our behaviors are no longer comely, or we're have these barriers around us, and our attitudes are now different because we've taken so much abuse off of men, now we're called difficult, problematic, or all these different things. And there's always a label. So I want to tell you women, I really want to stress to you, especially the younger women, love who you are, value yourself, find your self-worth. A lot of times you can find that self-worth in God. Learn who it is who you are, and do what makes you happy, okay? Stop valuing your opinion on a man. Stop valuing your opinion on the standards that a man puts upon you. Whether you're a young woman, whether you're highly intelligent, whether you're attractive, whether you weigh a certain amount, it doesn't matter. Love who you are. Love who you are. Once you find that love and you find that power, don't necessarily look for a man. We're not supposed to even be looking for a man. We're not supposed to be looking for a man, because it says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And I know that, oh, this is a modern society where it says women go after what they want. But honestly, if there's the right one that comes to you, when you're ready, and if it's meant for you to have someone, he'll come. He'll find you, the right one. In the meantime, you need to set some boundaries and some standards on yourself by not allowing someone to take advantage of you, not allowing someone to have sex with you and take a piece of something that is of you, take a piece of your value and your worth without even doing anything to earn that value. That's the thing. When you go into a store, you pay for something, right? You purchase it. That's how much things are. And when we go into a store, when you buy whatever it is that you're buying, whatever product you're buying, you have to pay for that, right? And I'm not saying be a prostitute. I'm not saying charge for sex. That's not what I'm saying at all. When a person wants something, they pay for it. So if a man wants you, they want to have your vagina, they should first marry you. It says if you want, remember the old saying back in the day, they used to say, you have to buy the cow. If you want the milk, buy the cow. Meaning you're not going to just milk that cow for free. And a lot of women have gotten to the point where you feel empowered. They have told us this lie that, oh, we're empowered because we can choose to have sex with who we want. No, that's not empowering. That's devaluing. Because now you have nothing left to offer. A man has already gotten your vagina, so what else is there? What else is there? That's how a lot of men will look at you. I've had your vagina. What else could you bring to the table? There's no other mystery about you, because now he can go and find the vagina of another woman. And there'll always be somebody else that a man can go to. So now it's become so accessible, that vagina is so accessible that it's no value on it anymore. Men feel like they don't have to really do anything. And now that's why they can make these unrealistic standards, because they feel like it comes a dime a dozen. There's so many women just willingly giving up the vagina, so they don't have to do anything to earn it. And so that's where the level we're at now, where so many women are willing to open up themselves and give up to, and yes, I get it. We do it for many reasons, not always because a woman is a whore. I mean, they might have you think that, oh, she's a whore. No, women give up sex for many reasons, especially when a man is emotionally get inside her head. Men will do things, they will manipulate you. There could be women who are lonely, they just want some attention, they want to feel loved. And love is not sex. I'm telling you right now, love is not sex. Sex solidifies the love that's already there, but it's not something that you can gain. You cannot gain love through sex. What you gain is a soul tie. That is what you gain. What you gain is bondage to another person. And this is why you become oblivious to the negative behaviors and characteristics of that person. And you're willing to accept them because you've already had sex with them. And no matter how they treat you, now you can't let them go because you think you're in love with them, you're infatuated with them. But what this really is it's a demonic soul tie. And so this is why we have to come to the point where we start valuing ourselves enough, where we exhibit self-control. And I'm not trying to tell you all what to do. What I'm telling you is from experience, because I've had experience for a long time. Yes, I've been made to feel bad about myself because, yes, I was a little bit promiscuous when I was younger. I didn't have a father who taught me anything. I had a father who taught me the wrong things. I had a father who did not set that example for me. I had a father who was not there when I needed his love. And I equated sex with the love. I equated sex with a man as a man loving me. And for a long time, that's how I lived my life. And yes, I did things, and I had a past, and that past was unforgiving when it came to certain men who I wanted to settle down with me, but they did not see me as anything else but something to have sex with or take care of them. And so this is where I come with, ladies, it's never too late. I don't care. If you're on your celibacy journey, great. I give kudos to you. I applaud you. I'm telling you to stick with it. I don't care what a man says. He can say you ran through, but you know, there are a lot of men out here who are just as ran through as these women. You're out here having sex with multiple women, probably even more than, and it's not good. It's not good. I'm telling you this right now, because they have many soul ties themselves, and they're all messed up because they have all these pieces of their souls. Their souls are fragmented in all these different people, and they're unstable mentally and emotionally. And then they look at a woman and say, "Oh, I'm in a position because I have a job and yeah, I have a great career," but you're messed up on the inside. And that's the point where we're trying to get to. It's not where we're in a gender war. I'm trying to get you to a point where you understand that your value and your self-worth comes in you respecting yourself and having self-control and not giving up the sex, not giving up the vagina, loving yourself. Your self-worth should not come from whether a man wants you or not, or how many likes you can get on a social media post. Your self-worth and your empowerment comes from the values and your attributes, what you display, your characteristics. Covering up your body is more empowering than showing your body. Yes, I've fallen into that trap many a times. And a lot of times when we do this, yes, there are spirits of seduction inside of you that can come into you when you have sex with a man who has these spirits, when you're watching porn, when you're fornicating. There's a lot of things. These lustful spirits come inside of you, and you need deliverance. When you get your deliverance, now you can start respecting yourself and covering up. Stop listening to these people who are sitting here singing these songs, and you stop listening to that, because they're getting money off of this. Satan is influencing this the entire media. This is why you see all these women. They come here, but they're very promiscuous. They're very seductive. It's nothing but sex. Why do you think there's so much sex? Because this is a fallen world. And it's telling women to be this. Oh, you can be empowered when you can seduce a man. You can be empowered when you get a man filled with lust and he desires you. But that man only desires you because he wants you sexually. That's nothing empowering about a man. Anybody can get a man to have sex with them. That's nothing empowering, because once that sex is over, then what? Even if you get a man to marry you based off of lust, the man is only lusting after you, and you wonder why the marriage does not work. Your true empowerment comes when you exemplify the characteristics that you behold and possess, something that is intangible, something that cannot be dressed up, something that cannot be purchased. It's something that's already there inside of you. It's the value that you hold and possess. It's your attributes that does not have a price tag on it, because it's so much value to it that you cannot pay for that. That is something that is already instilled inside of you. It's something that the Lord has put inside of each and every last one of us. But we have to get to the point where we discover who we are. And that's how we can determine our self-worth and value. It is not in yes, your vagina is powerful, but your self-worth is not in your vagina. That's the difference. You obtain your power when you learn how to lock up that vagina. Lock it up. I have been through many years, and I can speak from experience. And I also want to tell you, to the older women out here, if you're not married, listen, there are men who might make you feel bad and say, oh, you're too old to get married, or you're not a certain weight, or you don't have the certain look. Don't listen to that, okay? What you listen to, you listen to God, first of all, then love yourself. Love yourself. No matter how old you are, look at what you have look at your worth. Learn your worth. Your worth is not in your physical appearance alone. What your worth is your entire embodiment of who you are. It's your essence. It's your being. It's your soul. And you might not meet all the expectations of certain people. And a lot of times these people who are putting all these expectations on us, they have many flaws themselves, and they have not gotten the healing and the help that they need. They have not even discovered who they are. And this is why they put value on something that shouldn't have an importance on it. Look at the frivolous stuff when you're talking about a woman's hair. What does hair have to do with someone's value? What does a hairstyle have to do with someone's value? What does makeup have to do with someone's value? What does how much someone weighs have to do with their value? This is where you find yourself. When you love yourself, you get to the point where you can become healthy. You can love yourself and you can be healthy in every area, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Meaning the health, the inside, when you find out who you are worth, is going to follow. The rest is going to follow. Meaning you're naturally going to now elevate yourself in all of those areas. But you have to get to the self-worth first. So like I said, if you're on your celibacy journey, I don't care if it's only been 30 days. It's never too late to turn something around. Because society might be unforgiving to women, but you have to learn how to forgive yourself. And it's okay if you had a past. It's okay. Because we've all made mistakes. We've all done things, especially in our younger age. It's called trial and error for a reason. You don't automatically just know it. There's no blueprint on this life. Yes, we have the Bible to gear us, but we have to make mistakes to learn from them. If you have learned from your mistakes and you're trying to get better, and as long as you're improving, that's all that should matter. And if another person is unforgiving of you and they want to keep holding you to that cross, then let them. That's them. You can't please everybody, but you have to learn to forgive yourself. You have to learn to love yourself and appreciate who you are.